What up? What up? Happy TGIFF. How about that? It's Friday. We're finally here. We've made it. We're on our way to the weekend, and it's going to be big. All kinds of things happening now. We got the Belmont at Saratoga. Shout out to my guy, Razor Sharp Picks. Spent the afternoon cash and ponies with him. I know a bunch of you guys jumped up in there as well. I know Perky was there. Trisha M was there. DC Capper was there. A lot of you guys came out to rock and roll. Tons of fun. Kenny Wood, good to see you up there. All you guys, we're going to get into it here shortly. But we got a lot of work to do as always. A lot of work to do tonight. We got the 30-minute window we're trying to hit for you guys. Trying to keep it short and sweet. But more plays tonight. Sometimes it's the way the card works out. There's a lot of spots that jumped out at me tonight that I think are really great talking points for you guys. Where my cash is at to get us paid. So I'm going to share them with you guys. Majority MLB, one WNBA spot tonight. So we will touch the hardwood when it comes to women's basketball. We've got a nice spot there. Maybe a player prop too. If you have some books will let you do the player props, others won't. I'll share with you some thoughts I have around that prop, and that'll be up to you guys to decide if you want to do just that. But I appreciate everybody rocking this week here. First week rolling pre-gaming on the new channel here. And I say new channel, but we've been doing this for a while now. I think we started rolling live streams on Saturdays around the March timeframe, give or take March, maybe end of February. And look, we're growing, we're building. We told you then, and we're going to continue to say it. There's a lot coming down the pike, a lot of work to put in, not just for tonight's card, but to keep building this thing out. We want to give you guys more of the content you're asking for, all kinds of things that we've been kind of drawing up and trying to figure out how to attack. So a lot more to come. Stay tuned. If you haven't already done so, subscribe to the channel. You guys know the deal. Want to keep growing, need your help to keep growing, need you guys to hit that thumbs up button for me and subscribe to the channel. Make sure to turn the notifications on too, because not just live streams, but as we start releasing more content, we're going to have some pre-recorded videos for you guys amongst everything you guys have reached out saying that you want to see more of. And you'll want to be in the know when that information does get put out to the YouTube channel. And for that matter, look, listener supported, listener by request. Hit me up on DM on X over there, or even drop it in the comments on the show here. If there's things you guys are looking for, things you want to talk about, things that you want us to start capping or looking at for you, then we're happy to do so collectively as a group, especially come Saturdays. You guys know the deal. 6-7 hours deep, talking UFC, MLB, NHL, everything else that's going around. Soccer's been up and coming and smashing. Let us know if there's things that you want us to talk about come Saturday streams as well. So all about giving you guys what it is that you're looking for. And I'm looking to get paid tonight. That's what I'm looking for. Nice finish off the afternoon with the Razor Sharp firing off big $100 exactas, 100-1 exactas. Just fell short of a pick 3. Didn't hit the pick 4. I do have some action rolling here at good old Saratoga today to see if I can't finish this card off strong, but it's going to be a busy day tomorrow. Going to be a busy day on Sunday. We're going to have game 2 of the NBA Finals. Got the request to go host Say Hey on Sunday, so I'll do that as well. But let's get into this action tonight, you guys. Like I said before, lots of work to do, and I believe we have an 11-play card tonight. I think it's 11 plays, and you know how we do it. Lots of plus money to attack to get that cash. Let's go through a quick recap from yesterday. Got to be certainly transparent around the grind, and it is a grind, you guys. You know, I've said this before. You got to know the number of plays that you need to continue to show a profit month in and month out. You got to find a way to pay the bills, and you got to figure out what that number is. And for me, it tends to be that 9-10 mark to be able to go out there, hit them at 60%. And because they're plus money spots, even when we lose, we're winning out there. And Atlanta was a nice winner for us. Atlanta under 8.5 cash for us. The under and Atlanta 8.5. Sorry, I said that backwards. Atlanta and the under 8.5 cash for us at plus 235. Cubs did us dirty. I used my 2-up token on them. We're going to count them here as official losses, but the first 5 lost, the full game lost. Still got paid. But that doesn't help us here if you don't have that up too early token. Arizona first 5. What a disappointment. We'll talk about the Mavericks in a second, but the Arizona first 5, they're leading that thing, and then all of a sudden, the bottom of the 5th inning, the Padres come to life and end up pushing the first 5 spot. But we did cash the under 8.5. It was that close. It was up against the wall in the bottom of the 9th inning that kept us from going over. But we took that under and we got that cash. And then the NBA was just a mess. 1-3 in the NBA. Dallas shit the bed, plus 6.5. Third quarter started to look good, and then it all fell apart. The only positive from a prop perspective was Horford. Old L Horford over 6.5 points, cash force at minus 104. Luka didn't get the triple-double because of the assist. He had 1 assist on the night. I don't know if he just felt like he had to do it all himself and it still wasn't enough. I don't know. And then Lively over 7.5 rebounds, lost as well. So all in all, as bad as that felt, it was just about a half a unit profit. Nothing to really write home about. Nothing to get excited about, but it was profit. So any day we can stay in the black is a good day. It gives us an opportunity to fire another bullet the next day. So that's what it's all about. Not having to replenish bankrolls, but to keep building bankrolls. And some days will be better than others. I have a feeling tonight's going to be a good night here. Fridays, public days, I get a little weary about some of that stuff, but mostly Billy Briz put that in my head when he started talking about Friday being payday, and that's the day that everyone wants to go out and attack their books. I think about that. That does weigh on me, but listen, shout out to all you guys that have come in here. We'll talk about the Major League Baseball and WNBA spots in just a minute. It's pre-gaming. It's sports money. You guys already know the deal. Appreciate you coming in here. We need you to hit that thumbs up, and we want you to share your plays in the chat. Let's see the best plays you guys have to get paid tonight. Let's see what we can add to the card, and let's see if our guy, there he is, commenter number 1, Joe T, got the first spot back. I told him it was my fault yesterday. We weren't going to go forward, then we ended up going forward, and Joe T missed his top spot. But he's back. He's back as the top commenter, and he's got a fun weekend coming up, so I hope you have a great weekend. My guy Joe T says easy money last night. That Yankees team total over sure was. And he's going back to it. The Joe T best bet, Yankees team total over 3.5 against them Dodgers. Interesting spot. We'll talk about that. Well, I guess we won't talk about it. I'll talk about it right now. Big spot there. Minnesota Yankees. A little bit of a rain delay. Game ran longer than it should have. The Dodgers got touched up against them Pirates, but did win that last game of the series. So interesting. I know Yamamoto will be pitching for those Doyers. It'll be interesting to see if the Yankees can pull through and Joe T keeps his team total over streak rolling. Thank you for sharing, Joe T. Kenny Wood's in the house. Good to see Kenny Wood as always. Guy's just a good guy out there. Man of the people, gifting memberships and sharing his when he wins and losses. Really wants to let you know when he won. I appreciate it. Everyone wants to let you know when they lost, but nobody takes the time to say, hey, man, I kicked ass. Thank you for this and that. Kenny Wood's one of them guys. Oldie says, shout out. Gerald Jones says, happy weekend. Pimpin' crew on a bit of a heater. This week, best bet, Cincinnati Reds. Line full game. He likes the Cincinnati Reds full game out there. Gerald Jones has been cashing. I know every time I see him, he's putting cash out there. So let's go, Gerald Jones. Oldie says, still working the card, but I like Rosario for the Rays, Kepler Twins, Spencer Steer Reds. Should see some bat to ball with these gents out there. So we got looks like some potential hitting props from our guy Oldie. I'm excited to say we got a ribeye tonight. It's a nice juicy one too. It's a nice little 2.25er. So let's go. Perky Bumps. God, hanging out with my guy Perky Bumps this afternoon. Appreciative to get to know Perky and all the work that he's put into just celebrate, just enjoy and help promote. I appreciate that. Perky, the promoter, good dude out there. And I know he won some good cash today as well. So I love seeing the tickets, man. It gets me jacked up. Gets me Perky, though. I got to say, you hit that trifecta at Saratoga, and I only took the exacta, and I said I was leaving the tryout. Shout out to you for taking it. I was chapped. I was happy for you. But I got the exacta, but that's like the only time I left out the trifecta too, and a cash. So congrats to you, my guy. Great job today. Great job this afternoon. Deer Slayer skis has huge weekend of horses, UFC, hockey, basketball, baseball. Deer Slayer skis in the house. Says, go boys. Them bookies are going to get busted up. I feel it this weekend. Sometimes you get that feeling where it's like, I'm ready to go. And, feel like I'm seeing some things pretty clearly, so we'll get after that. Stacks play of the day from our guy Justin McKelvey. I hope you had a good time at that Pirates game yesterday. I know it wasn't the outcome you were probably looking for, but still a lot of scoring. Good game to be had. Stacks play of the day is Spencer Steer over 1.5 bases plus 114 for our guy Justin McKelvey. Trisha M's in the house says, what up, all? Let's keep this cash train rolling. Yeah. Rolling on the ponies. Trisha M was rolling today on them ponies. And she says, just at the IRAD in race 10, can't stop, won't stop. I'm curious who won race number 10. It was not the 7. Fuck. That's a nice exacta, though. 25-1. Anyhow, got this 30-minute thing we got to work with, you guys. Let's go. David Wallace in the house. Good to see David Wallace. Hope you keep cashing, my guy. Winner's Circle, the Fever Wings, Aces, Moneyline, Giants, Dodgers there for our guy, Winner's Circle. And there's Juggler 23. The Juggler 23 trends, you guys, we love them. Keep them coming. He says, a nice MLB trend for today. Toronto, Oakland, Bassett is an absurd 25-2 as a road favorite of minus 133 or higher in 1.5 seasons. We're going to be talking about Chris Bassett and the boys tonight. They made the card. Jay Peasy's in the house. Says, what up, motherfuckers? Let's go, Jay Peasy. Good to see you, my guy. Oldie says, Justin McCovey, I see you on that steer play of the day. I love when we overlap. That's always exciting, isn't it? When all the forces to be come together and see it in a similar fashion. Coins in the house. Good to see Coins. Says, yo, Mike. Let's have a Friday going the WNBA route tonight. He's going Seattle +8 at minus 115. Las Vegas in a first game home off 3-game roadie spot out there. I like that look. Like that look out there. Let's go. Let's see what else we got. Juggler 23 says, wise guys, MLB group play. The Guardians minus 105 for the group play. The MLB or the wise guy group play. Now 4-3 with them wise guys. And you guys are bringing in some great heat today. Love to see it. Here's another little angle from our guy, Juggler 23. The Mystic +3 into the Mystic. Mercury Lynx under 162.5. Year-to-date record 13-9-1 for them wise guy WNBA action. Keep it coming, Juggler 23, man. I see you staying profitable, posting over 500 records. We love to see that stuff. Oldie says, Trisham, I read your above post and read I didn't write. Thought you went next level dog sled skiing. I read Ortiz is in the house. Trisha M says, Jose Ortiz, race 11. Let's get him home for an Ortiz double. Keith in the house says, what's up, Mike? Hope you cash with these plays, and I'll be following along for sure. Kelly V's up there. What up, Kelly V? Likes the Minnesota. Links -5 for Kelly V on WNBA. We're busting into the WNBA now. Well, you know we're getting into summertime. Everybody's got something to say about that WNBA. I love it. Juggler wants to know Trisha's Belmont Stakes pick. Let's go. I want that cat, says Caitlin Clark, over 18.5 points tonight. Big Caitlin Clark talk as of late out there. Trisha M says Juggler 23, Sierra Leone. All the way, got a beautiful double live with IRAD hitting this last race. Bo Jackson's in the house. Good to see my guy, Bo. We're going to talk about them Blue Jays, my guy, Bo. Let's go. Lucky Power says, what up, pimp? Smash the like, people. Only takes a second. Please do just that, you guys. We'll have a little contest. Do a little giveaway contest tomorrow if we can get this video to 100 likes. You know the deal. We love to give out some cash when we can. And we just need you guys to hit the thumbs up. That's all you got to do on this one is hit the thumbs up, and we'll give away some cash tomorrow. We get to 100. We'll do it live on the live stream. Why not? Let's go get that money. Kelly D says, oldie like Tampa Bay's Rosario. Good numbers for Cincinnati Stevenson. Great numbers for Angels Ward. Also like KC Bobby Witt Jr. 17 of 18 hit last 18 games. St. Louis win Burleson. These are some top looks for Kelly V. Appreciate you sharing. Let's go. And Razor Sharp picks. There he is. Says shout out to everyone. What's up, Mike and chat? What's up, Razor Sharp? I was just talking about you kicking ass and taking names today, my guy. It was fun. Man, that last one was a nice little tasty one there to finish the day off too. So tough to leave the table on a heater. I hope you continue to win to get it done. Kelsey's in the house. Says, hey, Mikey, happy Friday. Yeah, what up, Kelsey? It's good to see you. Phil the Kill says, love the Braves under parlay last night. That was a nice plus money spot out there. We got a couple of those today. I think there's a couple today. I might have cut one. We'll see. I might have cut one. Lucky Power says, what's up, Razor Sharp? Yeah, we got some celebrities up in the house here today. Let's go, you guys. Kenny Wood says, what's up, Razor? Perky says, I had to do it, pimp. What a day. All love and respect. He's talking about the exacta and the trifecta. Let's go. Perky's giving out some looks here today as well. 16-3 in his NCAA tournament baseball. Make sure you're following Perky Bumps Anderson over on X to get all them plays. He tweets them all out there. And then he talks about what he's going to do to himself after they win. It's quite the thing he's developed over there. What's up, Dana Delp in the house? What's up, guys? Reds nerfy. Now, I like that sock. I'll tell you why I like that look, Dana Delp. See a lot of Reds action. See a lot of talk about Reds getting scores. I'll tip my hat and say I like that nerfy direction. Fletcher Barry's in the house. Is Mikey Money? How we doing? We're doing great, Fletcher Barry, and it's always great to see you up in here. This is Oakland, and whatever, because Jay's going to drop the first game. Everyone loves to upset the Jays. We'll talk. We will talk. Chris Bassett's no joke, man. Chris Bassett, no joke. Dana Dub says Oilers for the W. Gerald Jones says the nerfy parlay. Here we go. Atlanta, Washington nerfy with Chicago. Cincy nerfy. There we go. There's another nerfy toucher. Let's get into it. Well, that didn't sound right, did it? Juggler 23, WNBA Wise Guy Group just added the Storm +9 out there for WNBA action. You know I got to take a minute to write it down. All right, we got to get to it, guys. You got to get going here. Kelsey says, smash the likey for Mikey. Appreciate that always. And Kelly V says, fade Phoenix Mercury all weekend long. Minnesota -5 today. 8th game in 11 days for the Mercury. Great insight from Kelly V. Dana Dub says, can't watch NBA games with Jose no more. No, I don't think I can. I told him he was overwatching yesterday. So you ever heard of the term overwatching a sport? You're overwatching this sport. Everything was a fucking celebration moment for our guy, Jose Bouquet. He got the big win. So he got the big win. Ken Wood says he tailed the Tennessee Vols -4.5 from Perky. And Trish M says, boom. Ortiz double gave you chatters that 9-1 winner. Let's see if it was a 9-1 winner for me. Who did I have in this one? I had the 3, 6, and 10. 3, 6, and 10. How did that post up? 3, 6, and 10. Trisha, throw the order in there for me. Let me see what we got there. 3, 6, and 10. Junior Alvarado at 9-2 was the last ad in there. 3, 6, and 10. Let me know if I cash that exacta. Anyhow, let's go, you guys. We got to get to work. It's pre-gaming, and we got some games to get to here. First action on the card for me. 6. I screwed up this order. It's all right. It's all right. We're going to move quickly. We're going to keep a brisk pace. And here we go. Tampa Bay, Baltimore AL East battle here. The Baltimore O's going on the road to face the Tampa Bay Rays. And we got 41% of the bets, but 79% of the cash on the O's. Big money likes this Baltimore Orioles team. And Vegas said, I don't care. This line went from -118 road favorites for the Baltimore O's down to -105. They steamed them up. But I do see I screwed this up because let me double check here. The total, 88% of the bets, 91% of the cash on the over. There's a tricky spot for you guys. You've heard me talk about it before. Tampa, -110 is what that should have read. Should have read -110. And what about the first 5? First 5 is now that's the -120 right there. -120. Got to keep them real so that I can come back for official record-keeping purposes, especially now that we're throwing them up on the screen for you guys. There we go. Let's take a look at that there. And let's talk about this game here. Tampa, AL East showdown. Savale. Tampa Bay struggling to start the year out with a 5.37 ERA and not getting run support at 2-4. Irvin, on the other hand, 5-2 and a 2.84 ERA. So it's an interesting spot. When you look at this on the surface here, this feels like a little razor-sharp action to me. You look at it. You see it's Savale, and he's having a bad year. You see it's Irvin, and he's having a great year. Yet the public who loves Baltimore isn't fully invested. Sharper cash or bigger cash is taking the O's. My assessment there is because they're taking the O's. Perky says the Rays are now +105, huh? All right. Even a better number. Look, for me, this is an opportunity where we see these AL East battles. I've talked about them before. This series, particularly these teams, it's that bounce back effect. What did we just have happen? It was a short little mini stint there, but the Rays did take down the Miami Marlins. They beat them up 9-5 and 5-3 on the road. They had just played this Baltimore O's team this series before. So really, we're running right back to it, and I believe now these pitchers in the second time through are going to have the opportunity to feel like they can go out there and attack. And again, when we look at what happened the previous time around here, this is that revenge and bounce back spot. Baltimore did win the series 2-1 in that little 3-game stint. Got to even up the score. We had those spots yesterday where we were looking for some even up opportunities out there. 3-1 victory for Baltimore, 9-5 victory. Then they lost that last game of the series 4-3. Kind of doesn't seem right, this number being where it is, the cash coming into where it is as well. And yet this number's been dropping out there. I love this Tampa spot. I think this is the bounce back, get right opportunity. It's the first game of a series at home for this team. And then again, when you look at this Baltimore side of the house, you know, they're coming off that Toronto kind of situation there. They won the first 2 games of the series, 7-2 and 10-5. Used a lot of bats to do it. Then it was also a 4-game series. Bullpen factors in store here as well. I want to kind of reverse the script with the Irvin Savale opportunity, and I like the Tampa first 5 spot. But the full game is enticing to me because it's the first game of a series, home for Tampa. Baltimore did have the international travel just yesterday. They had to contend with coming back down there. And look, they didn't really go out and get the job done. As far as the numbers concerned, you know, they were in some dog rolls there against Toronto, -105 and +110. And they lost both those spots. So when the line index is low or doesn't seem quite right for Baltimore, they're losing those games. It's in that position for a reason. And I think that's exactly where we sit with this spot tonight here. This is my favorite spot on the entire card. I like this Tampa Bay team quite a bit to get right and get the job done. And I think these numbers are just way too much. If I was going to ever advise for a double up or a double unit spot, it would be here. I think Tampa Bay just got this sneaky suspicion Baltimore's in trouble tonight. And David Wallace says the Tampa line just changed at DraftKings. Good. Let's see where we got it. Let's see what we're at right now. Let's go and see. What is my DraftKings site the only one that's not changing? I'm seeing -108. Still in the realm. I like it. I think it's a good opportunity here. Again, bigger action coming in now, maybe right before tip-off, 27 minutes to go. That makes a little bit of sense. But for me, it's a go. I'm double whacking this Tampa Bay spot, and we're going to move on. Let's roll. Cincinnati Reds, Chicago Cubs. The cut that I made was adding the Cubs to the spot with the under. So the under and the Cubs was +335, I believe was the number. I just pivoted back. I'm just going to go to the under. The reason being is, first of all, we have 82% of the bets and 91% of the cash on the Cincinnati Reds. The line is moving. It started at -110. It's now -130. Then we look at the total. 94% of the bets and 93% of the cash on this over. Yet it hasn't moved. Under 8.5 is a -102. 99% of the bets, 88% of the cash on the Reds -1.5. Yet it's -1.5 at +160. This is a run type of game is what they're saying out there. And it's a tricky spot because we have Nick Lodolo starting for the Cincinnati Reds. He's got the 3.11 ERA. He's 5-2 on the season. Then we got Superman, Justin Steele out there, with the Cubs, 4.10 ERA and 0-2 on his season. We have wind. It's 11 miles an hour, but doesn't seem like it's blowing out to be a factor and contribute to the run side of the house. That's why we're seeing this 8.5. I think people initially looked at this and said, you know, this is a great opportunity for the over. The wind is blowing. We look at the games that have been played. Cincinnati, though, with the Coors effect, 12-7, 13-3. Their runs per game in their last week skewed. It's also the second time it's the second. They're trying to play the series again. It's the second time they played the series in 3, right? So it's they just played the series. It's probably the easiest way for me to have said that, and I butchered it. Then we look at the Cubs on the other side, and we see a ton of runs with the Cubs. 7-6, 7-6 against the White Sox. 8-4 against the Reds. Yet we have all this cash coming in on the over. The number hasn't moved. We look at some other supporting detail behind it. To me, the Cubs under, where was it here? I didn't write it down. The Cubs under was probably my second favorite spot on the board. Where did it go? Where did it go? Let me pull it up real quick here. Notes everywhere all day. Notes on baseball itself. And here we go. MLB's under trend for us going into this one here. Healthy sample behind it. 360, 247 to the under in a situation where they're in a divisional spot, bouncing back from the previous match they've played. Then we've got the unders in the first game of a series. The unders in the first game of a series, 261 and 180 in those spots as well. So I'm just going to kind of skip right through it. But bottom line was there was a lot of great opportunities. The bounce back, the zigzags, another factor that is in effect for this one as well. Like I said, I was this close to taking the Cubs. I kind of still like the number. I kind of still like the Cubs. I want to get involved in it. But ultimately, I like the under in this game more than I like the Cubs. And I thought to myself, if the under gets rocked, I don't want to end up taking the 2 L's in that one. So if I was playing a Cubs and then the Cubs and the under, I probably would have given you both of those. But because I like the total, I'm a little more apprehensive around the side and the total. Because, look, it is a hitter's ballpark out there at Cincinnati. I get that. I see a lot of people, talking Yurfie kind of across X today. I saw this is a great spot for runs. And I do see the grading that you guys have with these pitchers as well. But if you kind of dig past that a little bit and you look specifically starting lineup-wise here, I'm pulling it up right now as I'm talking with you guys. If we look at the starting lineup for this thing, and where the hell is it? Where is it there? The wind. Everybody looks at it and sees 12 miles an hour. Well, it's coming in, in across home plate towards the dugout. So it's kind of coming in and to the right. It's also going to drop in temperature from 81 down to the 70s by the time the second half of this game gets rolling. And we know the Cubs have a pretty good bullpen. They've been able to come back and climb from 5 and 6 run deficits. Then on the other side, when you look at kind of these hitting processes, Justin Steele against the Cincinnati Reds team, Spencer Steer and Tyler Stevenson are really the only 2 guys that have really shown any propensity to hit. It's Tyler Stevenson, 13 at-bats, 8 hits, 1 home run, 6 ribbies. Johnny India, 13 at-bats, 3 hits, 1 home run, 3 ribbies. And they're kind of pressed right up against each other. On the other side, Nick Lodolo, and being a lefty, he's certainly been able to handle this Chicago Cubs lineup as well. Only 4 total RBIs has Lodolo given up to this lineup that is the Cubs. Going to be an interesting spot. I get why you guys like the Reds. At first glance, I like them too. I just have a feeling that we see more regression from Lodolo and more positive regression when it comes to what's happening with Steele. So my only official for this spot, I'm going to go with this Cubs spot under 8.5. I love that first game of the series opportunity. 640. Kelly V says Cleveland, Quan out, Texas, Seager out. FYI, folks, that's some excellent intel as well. Lucas Betts, there's my guy Lucas in the house. There's some MLS coming out tomorrow. Subscribe to the channel. I'll make sure Mike is up bright and early for an early sports money show to pass our MLS plays. Big hockey play tomorrow as well. It's going to be a lot of fun, guys. We're going to have a ton of fun tomorrow. We're just getting going. But, man, it's so much fun when we make that cash out there. Jeff M says the Pipes got it at -102. JP is on the road on Fridays this season. Orioles 3-1. Morgan Spooner says, listen to an interview with the Rangers manager. They will sit Seager for the weekend out of precaution and reevaluate. It's because that he's, to me, I don't know the extent of what this potential injury is, but that's more of he hasn't been hitting consistently, and they got to take him out of the rotation to try to give him an opportunity to get his confidence back. Hitting is all about the confidence. We'll see. Fernando Mendoza says Cubs over has been good. It has. I know I'm steering into the storm with this one here. Kelly V says, Oldie, I like the over team total look or full game over. And Real Deal Prime says good stuff with the pen and paper. Let's go. We got more to get to, you guys. We got to keep her rolling here. What do we got next on the docket for you guys? There it is. The double dipper here for us. The Cleveland Guardians. So I cut the Cubs in the under. I added the Guardians. I was originally going to go Guardians in the under in this game. Let me give you guys the numbers here. I get excited when I start talking about these things. And I want to go back to where we start. We start with the club. We start with the cash flow. What's happening in the market? And 7:10 p.m. Eastern, the Guardians going on the road to face the Miami Marlins. 71% of the bets, 94% of the cash on the Guardians. Line's falling. It's dropped 13 cents from -120 to -107. Then we look at the total. That is not moving. 96% of the bets, 95% of the cash on the over. I get it. I get it specifically because when you look at Logan Allen, who I do believe is the better of these two pitchers, by the way. Logan Allen, 5.83 ERA, 6-3 on the year. Then I see Weathers on the other side for Miami. Somehow he's sporting a 3.41 ERA, and he's 3-5 on the season. What made Cleveland the late ad for me was I sat around contemplating about Miami's bats and really what they've been doing as of late. But then I kind of look back at it, and I'll tell you about these numbers as to why these unders are in play. It's Miami. It's the first game of a series, first and foremost. We know exactly what Miami does in the first game of a series. They like to lose, is what they like to do out there. Furthermore, teams that have a starter off and under in the first game of a series and a loss are 31-2. We rode that trend the other day. 31-2 if they're playing at the same site for at least one more game. So in this case here, as long as it's a 2-game series and not a makeup game, where it's kind of wedged in between because of a rain delay or something, or a rain push out or something to that effect. That's what we see be the case when it comes to the unders. Also, road favorites, starter off a loss or a 1-run win as a starter are 26-4. That's kind of that little, I guess it's the intersection point of Weathers and the numbers being better than Weathers is, and Logan Allen and the numbers being worse than Logan Allen is. Now, Logan Allen's not an ace I don't think he is, but he might have to be for this Cleveland Guardian staff, but I like the under 8. I like Cleveland in this spot as well. Now, the fact that the Cleveland number keeps coming down to me is where the value comes back into play for me with this spot here. I didn't want to drop the -120. I was just going to go exclusively Cleveland in the under. I got the half a run back into play with Cleveland under 8. Now this number's dropping for Cleveland, and it's got to be an add to my card. This is a spot where I'm going to reverse what the market's doing out there. I know what Miami does in the first game of a series. We just talked about these pitchers and kind of their positive regression versus regression candidacies. And look, the Guardians 40-21 on the season for a reason, with the best bullpen in Major League Baseball, as we learned earlier this week. So lots of reason for me to jump in there and take this Cleveland spot. I think at -107, let them juice that thing out for you, and then let's go in there. And then that under 8 is now at 223 with the Cleveland side as well. So same game parlay, Cleveland and the under 8 gets it to a +223 spot. That's the situation I was telling you about where I talked about that with the Cubs. If I like the side, I'd be comfortable parlaying the side and the total. In this case, I like the side. I'm parlaying the side and the total. Let's go onward, if that makes sense to you guys anyhow. Let's go here. This is where I think I screwed up the order. 6:40 p.m. This game's going to pop off in 7 minutes. I'll be short and sweet. I'm on the Minnesota Twins for this game. I get it. Pittsburgh. We'll talk about it. -132 now, -125. 60% of the bets and 58% of the cash on the Minnesota Twins. The line has dropped. We see Johnny Ryan at 3.38 ERA, 4-4 on the season. And then it's Mitch Keller at 3.42 ERA with an immaculate 7-3 record, considering this team is 29-33. But this ain't no Skeens. It's not a spot there. Now, when I said we were going to talk about that Yankees game, I was thinking about it in relation to the Minnesota Twins. Look, they're coming off a series sweep. Certainly not a spot they want to be involved with here. Pirates, though, 11-7, tried not to use all their bullpen pieces against that Dodgers team, but they just kind of let that score get away from them. And both these teams coming in off of a no-rested situation. Pittsburgh obviously has the advantage sitting back at home, but 63-20. Currently on a 13-game winning streak. Short road favorites on a losing streak. Short road favorite, losing streak, 63-20 in its last 83. It's won 13 straight times. We're going for lucky number 14 tonight, the Minnesota Twins. And we see -125s are out there at DK. We still have -130s and 134s out there in the market as well. So I could see if you wanted to go cute with this one and take Pittsburgh in the first 5, I could maybe see that. I think this is a lower scoring game to start this thing off. If one team gets a run in that second or third inning, that's going to probably be enough to cover that first 5. I just want the full game in this one here. It's just a Minnesota Twin spot for me. And there you go. There you can see it, -125. Let's go. Let's keep rolling this pace, guys. Lots of game to cover. Still got action in play out there. Kelsey says, Reds. Red Chick says 3rd to 1st. Wine Time says, what's up, Mikey Money? What's up, Wine Time? It's good to see my guy. Markel says, Orioles, baby. Orioles. Tampa, baby. Tampa. Kelsey says, Mikey and Kelsey's football show coming this fall. I'm in, Kelsey. Hit me up. We will talk. We will talk about the gridiron if that's what you want to do. Let's go. Oldie says, Wine Time Sports, I see you. And Morgan Spooner says, this market movement made my stomach tilt after betting Cleveland overnight. Fernando Mendoza says, Brewers starting lineup is fire. Yeah, I'm not messing with that Tigers and Brewers game. I'm not going to, I would lean to the Tigers, but I don't want to get involved in that game. This seems like a classic letdown spot for both these teams. And someone's got to win. Oldie says, at Wine Time Sports, I know you love Florida. Panthers tomorrow, question mark. Fernando Mendoza says, Brewers plus money, say less. Old E says, at Wine Time Sports, just messing with you. All good your way, question mark. Kelly V says, Detroit, good pitcher going. Nerfy, question mark. First 5, Detroit, full game, under. Yeah, no play for me. No, I got enough rolling here. We'll talk about that in just a second. Wine Time's telling Oldie's trying to get that cash. Says the weekend is here. Kelsey says, when does your cocktail capper show start? That's a good one. Maybe that's what we do for the football season, Kelsey. Wine Time says, Twins money line for me as well, Mikey. Let's get it. Let's go Wine Time. I like to be aligned with my guy, Wine Time. Oldie says, I'm on Kepler here in the 4. He'll get 4 chances. Fernando Mendoza says, take the over in this game. And J Stone 9 says, 6 cocktails. Play of the day. Gunnar Henderson walk at plus 140. Bo Jackson likes the Colorado Rockies here. Let's go. Let's see what we have on deck next for us here. We'll have 3 more baseball spots to talk about, including the San Francisco Giants. And then we'll talk about the WNBA as well. Talking horses all day. Run down here. Got to get it going. Got to get rolling. And what you got with this one here, 41% of the bets and 75% of the cash on Texas. More or less 50-50. A little bit of a public lean to the road San Francisco Giants. But the cash pouring in on the Rangers. Bookies say, I don't care. This line has not moved. Not 1 cent, not in either direction from the open. Even with the Seager news out there. The total, 94% of the bets, 92% of the cash on the over. Hasn't moved. It's at 7.5. We break this one down. We start looking at what's going on within this thing. And here's a guy that's due for regression candidacy. Michael Lorenzen, 2.96 ERA on the season, 3-3 record. Logan Webb on the other side, 2.95 ERA, 2.95 ERA, 4-5 on the season. And this is a great opportunity, I think. I go right down the numbers for you guys here. Let's just keep it short, sweet, and to the point. Non-divisional road favorites with a day's rest, 159-66. Non-division road favorite rest, 159-66. Short road favorite versus the opposite league, 192-100. Fade the Rangers when they're going against a right-handed pitcher. You're 145-88. And the San Francisco Giants series openers, game 1, series openers, 36-11. Now you're telling me I got a Lorenzen, who I believe was regression candidate. You're telling me Seager's out of this lineup as well? They're not hitting consistently at best, right? That's probably the most reasonable thing to say, is that inconsistency of the way they're hitting. The bigger cash coming in on Texas, and the line's not moving. And yeah, they went 1-2 the last game series there at home against Detroit, 2-1 loss, 3-1 loss. Finally had an explosion with a 9-1 win factor. Before that, they played Miami. They shut Miami out twice as well. I think it's a lower scoring affair. That's how we see San Francisco thrives and survives when it comes to playing in and out of their league. This is a great opportunity for San Francisco at minus 124. I'm just going full game, though. I'm not going to try to get into that, in case I'm 1 game ahead like I was with Gausman on the regression factors. I think that the full game with the bullpen capabilities out there with the San Francisco Giants, they can go out there, get them right, shut them down, and we're going to move on to the next game. Let's see what we got. Yeah, you're reading it right. Shout out to Nasty Nate. I see him up there. He says that. Margaritaville, Times Square, getting it started. Shout out to you, Nasty Nate. Gerardo Hernandez in the house. Sup? Morgan Spooner says Seager's bat has been heating up. This is a legitimate injury concern. Okay, I didn't see it. I just kind of thought that his lack of consistency with his over 1.5 bases would lead to pulling him out of the lineup to let him dry his bottom a little bit there. Kelsey says, how about our Celtics at Nasty Nate? And he's giving the Clovers out there. Kenny Wood says, I got the Twins money line minus 125. and Fanatical Jim. Cage Warriors plays tonight. There we go. You're going to want to write these down, as will I. Copy and paste. Copy and paste my guys' comments here. Cage Warriors plays tonight. Sosa Mora parlay plus 166. Roberto Hernandez moneyline minus 130. And Kindle moneyline plus 150. Nasty Nate says, hit the like or your mom's still a hoe. And Oldie says, nasty Nate. Celtics going to win. Caps lock must be destroyed. David Wallace, Angels up too early is where I utilized the token. And that brings us to this game here. Let's talk about it, you guys. The LA Angels. We got the Angels and the Astros. Angels and the, where is it? Where did it go? There we go. Astros on the road against the Los Angeles Angels here. 86% of the bets, 86% of the cash on the Astros. And the line's dropping. Minus 190 now, minus 160. That's reverse line movement right there. Right now we got this plus 160s moved to plus 140. When we're looking at this game, it's Griffin Canning. Now, you heard me say Canning is a dumpster fire. He is with a 4.69 ERA and 2-5 on the season. Framber Valdez, though, if you don't know what Framber Valdez shouldn't be playing for the Astros. I'll tell you why. It's too fucking hot down there for him. Watch the amount of sweat pouring off this dude right off the hop. He's like a candidacy where there's guys on the pond. Now he pitches out of it sometimes. He's got a 3.95 ERA. He's 4-3 on the season. Then we look at what's been going on with these guys here. The Angels just swept them Padres. Fucking Padres are terrible. And of course the Padres screw my first five yesterday and then, end up losing the game. On the other side of things with the Astros, they did beat them St. Louis Cardinals 2-1 in that series. And now kind of going on the road for the first time. This is a sneaky surprise spot for this Astros team. This is the fuck around and find out spot of the day. And I think they're going to fuck around and find out that the Angels smash on lefties. And the biggest lefty smasher that there is, Renfroe, RBI, plus 225 for us in this spot. Great opportunity. Again, Angels, one of the best in the league against left-handed pitching. Last time Framber played him, does anybody remember what happened? Torched like a fucking tiki torch in a midsummer night, lit up. 8 straight runs, 8 earned runs out of that guy in that particular game. And now Griffin Canning, Astros do well against righties. But the other thing that's going on with the Astros, I haven't seen the official word yet, but there's rumor that Kyle Tucker might still be out of this game. So you're going to take a big bat. We're a sucker for Tucker in this program. Yordan Alvarez and Jake Meyers are certainly guys that are more than capable of getting the job done. I could be convinced that the over is the play in this one. I have a feeling it's the Angels, though. And at this price, with the bats and the inconsistency and the previous success against Framber Valdez, plus 140 for this Angels team is dropping as well, by the way. We've got 138s, 137s, 136s, now some 135s out there as well. This is the reverse line movement candidacy, the AKA fuck around and find out spot of the night for us here. The LA Angels, again, Renfroe RBI plus 140 and plus 225 respectively. I think this is probably, I don't know. I told you I like a lot of the card tonight. I'm not just going to keep going down the line. That being said, though, just to kind of play, devil's advocate for anybody that's kind of hearing what we have to say about this spot too. And, I will say that the Astros, when you got a dog on a 2 or more game winning streak, they are 1-18 straight up if their pitcher came off a quality start the previous game. So 1-18 spot for the dog in this role here. Just kind of playing the opposite side of this thing. You can't lay this price with this Houston Astros team with this uncertainty in pitching when they recently faced Framber Valdez, or recently faced the Angels, uncertainty with Tucker, uncertainty. It is just an uncertain festival right now. And I am certain that I want that plus 140 opportunity with the Angels. Just a full game and Renfroe plus 225 RBI. In fact, you look at Renfroe here, you want to look at his numbers. I think I talked about him the other day via programming, but I'll go back and talk about him again. Specifically, what he's done out there against Framber. 22 at-bats, 5 hits, 2 home runs, 4 ribbies. You look at him against lefties. He's a switch hitter, which I believe gives him the opportunity with the advantage against the pitcher. They can find the weakness. 35 at-bats, 17 hits, a home run, 2 ribbies, and a 486 batting average against left-handed hitters. Probably the most successful left-handed pitching candidate there in Major League Baseball. I'd have to look at all the numbers to be sure about it, but at 225, absolutely I'm jumping in on this thing. Now the wind is coming in kind of to the right, blowing from outfield into the right at 8 miles an hour. Similar situation that we talked about earlier in that Cubs game where it's dropping from 75 down to around 70 at first pitch, but I'm on it. I'm on this Angels team. I think this Houston Astros team, we've seen them struggle. We saw them go down to Seattle and struggle to get the bats rolling. I expect it to continue again. And let's see. Lee Davis says, there we go. Appreciate that, Lee Davis. He says, Tucker's out. It is confirmed. And Kelly B says, did I see Los Angeles team total was 1 for the first 5? I didn't see that. Kelsey says, who's singing at Uncertain Festival 24? I don't know. I don't know. Renfo. I don't know. Maybe I said it wrong. I don't know. Play what's on the screen. Kelly, play what's on the screen. Renfo. Maybe it sounded like Renfo. Renfo. There's a G in there. And you can see it on the screen. Good call, you guys. Last game for us in Major League Baseball. Then we got one WNBA spot ahead. And yeah. I was going to say it's one of my favorite spots on the card. I really like this card tonight. I'm either going to feel really great or be really let the fuck down. And I'm expecting the really great side of things here. I think we see these reverse line opportunities. They're great spots to clobber. This one, however, open at minus 134. It's gone to minus 162. 89% of the bets, 95% of the cash on the Blue Jays. Then we got the total over 7.5 has moved to 8. We have 92% of the bets and 93% of the cash. And you guys talked about it earlier. The Bassett situation, 22-0 in his career when he starts as a road favorite of more than minus 135. You got to play on that. So here's where I struggled with it because I was going to go Toronto first 5 minus a half. I was like, maybe I go Toronto. Toronto wins the first 5. Toronto wins the full game. That's plus 105. Then I looked at it and I saw, how about Bassett to record the win? Plus 120. Yeah. Also, in case there is some sort of a comeback here from Oakland in the 6th or 7th inning after Bassett comes out, I added in the Toronto for minus 1 spot at minus 130. So hear me out with this one. Teams off a win with a starter who threw less innings the last start but had a quality one the game before that are 50-7. Off a win, starter had a quality start, then his most recent start went less innings than the previous time, suggesting that it's a bounce back opportunity. 50-7 are those teams in that spot. That's Toronto minus 1. Road favorites with a starter off a loss or a 1-1 win are 26-4 if it's the first game of a series. 26-4. Road favorite, starter off a loss or a 1-1 win. Again, that kind of correlates there. Less innings than his previous quality start. Now trying to bounce back, not just do the teams bounce back at 50-7, the road favorites in those spots in the first game of a series, getting new life going on the road, traveling 26-4 in those spots. I went Toronto minus 1, minus 130. So the Bassett to record to win, just sharing with you guys the different ways to look at this one. It was Toronto first 5 minus a half. It's like minus 125 or minus 130. Got to win by the run, which would have pushed me into the Toronto first 5, Toronto full game. But we've seen Toronto gets a little sloppy around that 7th inning. It's like the mid relievers just don't quite have all the goods. But I think Toronto can cover this minus 1, and I like Bassett to get the win. So it's a double dipper for me to close the MLB card. And the last spot I have for you guys moving into the WNBA. Yeah, we ran a little long today, didn't we? Didn't we run long? Kelsey's Mike is on till 8 Eastern. It's pronounced Renfo. Yeah, the H and the G. I got you guys. I'm with you. Maybe you're not hearing it with my accent, if you will, my New York style accent. Let's go. Kelsey says, Mike, you said it was an uncertain festival tonight. Did I say uncertain? I don't know. I think it's going to be Smash Job City tonight. Let's go, you guys. The WNBA. Uncertain was a couple of the spots where I wanted to go attack more double up. I mean, there's more spots I wanted to get on the card, too, that I had to cut. So the Cubs and the Cubs under was an uncertain spot for me. I don't know. Here's what I do know. I'm taking the Dallas. I'm taking a -3.5. I love the WNBA stuff. Juggler 23 said in there. I'm going to have to go back and get that written down myself because that wise guy action is pretty something special. We look at the Wings. They went from -1.5 to -3.5. Now starting to see some 4s out there. 96% of the bets on the Dallas Wings. Every show, 30 minutes, hours. I try to get him in 30, man. I try to get him in 30. But, I get talking with you guys. We start talking, getting recognizing the plays you guys are putting out there, going through the recap. We'll get tighter with it. It's a long card, too. Sometimes they're not going to be this long. But anyhow, we're rolling on this one here. And look, we talked about the Sparks. Not good. Not good at home. Haven't won a spread at home. Not getting the job done. Then we see the other side of this thing with the Wings. Wings coming off a 3-game losing streak. 3-5 versus 2-7. They're marking these guys as a 3-point favorite on the road for a reason. And then when you look at this thing, and I was kind of telling you guys, one of the spots that I was looking into for a player prop was Maddie Siegrist. Maddie Siegrist over 12.5 points. Seems like a weird number for this girl here because at the end of the day, she's shooting poorly. She's shooting less than 30% from beyond the arc. Last year, she was shooting around 33, 34%. She's just shooting 79% from the free throw line. She was 93% from there a season ago. However, she's gone over this number 4 of her last 5 games. The one game she didn't go over, she had exactly 12 points. So she's definitely in that 12-point range with the ability to go on the north side of it. She's shooting poorly. I preface while she's shooting versus what she was shooting last year because this is that opportunity to get back and get right against the Sparks team. I love the line movement spot in this one here. I got notified of a late steam movement on there as well. So I was jumping in on this Dallas team. But Maddie Siegrist over 12.5 points. If you can same game parlay that, I kind of like, to be honest with you, I kind of like this trifecta spot here when it comes to the WNBA and this Dallas Wings team. I'm just going to play the -3.5 because there's enough Major League Baseball in play as well. But that's the way I opt to get paid. And Maddie Siegrist, if you can get played, not everybody can get player props. So that's what I want you guys to take a look at for the card. Morgan Spooner says, Mike, you do such a great job breaking down games. No reason to rush. I appreciate that, Morgan Spooner. The metric show, everybody wants 30-minute show, but I appreciate that, Morgan Spooner. Thank you. And I'll keep bringing them back. If you guys keep hitting the like button, as I said before, let's get this video to 100. Let's get 100 likes on this video. We'll do a giveaway tomorrow just for the hell of it. We'll do a nice little Greyhound race or something to that effect to give some cash away with the live stream tomorrow. If you guys can get this to 100 likes for me, so important to make sure you hit that like button. I gave you guys a ton of games that I'm personally playing tonight. I gave you the reasons that I'm moving on those games as well. I even went through and cut the spots to give you guys a tighter card instead of just throwing out 15, 20 plays at you guys. But just hit that like button for me. Hit the thumbs up. And then go in there while you're doing that and check out the UFC content. Them boys, Gaucho and MMA Jeff, went in there yesterday, or Wednesday night, and broke down 3 of their favorite plays for the card. Get an early look and see how those lines are moving in correlation to the plays that they gave you guys. And hit the thumbs up button on that as well. All the content needs your support. And all we ask for you guys to do is hit that thumbs up button. Hope you guys have a wonderful Friday evening. Jay Stone, Kelly V, Kelsey, David Walsh, Justin McCalvey, Morgan Spooner up in the house, Gerald Jones, Subhuman Gaucho, there he is, David Wallace in the house. You guys make this a lot of fun for me to do on the regular, and as long as you guys keep cashing, and I'm cashing, we're going to keep running at it. So until tomorrow, we got a big live stream tomorrow. You already know we go big, we smash, and we cash, and we're going to go and do it again tomorrow. The crew will be assembled. You heard our guy Lucas talking MLS. Gaucho's going to come in there talking NHL. He's going to give you his UFC plays. MMA Jeff's coming in to lay the hammer down in the UFC and all the other sports he gets involved with. Sure, he'll have some golf looks as well. And, I'll give you guys everything I got across the board. So that and more, it's going to be fun. Until then, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Appreciate you watching the channel. Sports money, baby. Get that money.